ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Most Unknown Podcast.
Happy Black History
Saturday,
Month.
Black History Month for sure. Did we say that last week?
No, nigga. Y'all niggas talking
Was it
about
Black
Troy
History Month
Ave.
last year? Was it?
Last week, yeah. This episode came on like on the
All I
4th.
said was
Man, shut up, dog. Shut up.
On the 4th.
Because when I see him again, I'm going to beat him up. That's it. Yeah, I'm beating him up, bro.
Oh,
Powder.
I'm catching him. Catching him.
Powder.
Powder.
That shit was hard.
We glad to have y'all back, man. Live in the Movement Studios, Washington, D.C. man. We have a guest here with us that we haven't had. What last time you think?
Oh, it was years ago.
Bro, it's like two.
What's
she
a year?
was-
Might have
Give
been a
What's your
decade.
guess?
Decade.
What's your guess?
It's not a decade.
It is a decade.
No.
You can rock with us, dog.
No, don't do me like that.
2000, June 2016. Episode
She was our second.
6.
Six?
We like
I was there from
Oh,
the
the mics was
beginning, so
shitty.
don't play me. Even if I miss
You
some
is day
interim,
one. You
I'm
is
a day
one.
one.
You is day one.
June. It was like June 2016.
I didn't know. What episode was we on?
6.
Six.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Shitty mics.
Yeah, treat me nice.
Shitty
Jesus
quality.
Christ.
Treat me
I didn't know-
nice.
Yeah.
Diamond LaShawn, ladies
I
and
made you
gentlemen.
OG.
I'm a day one. Treat me nice.
Shout out Diamond OG. My bad.
Hi guys,
Thank
missed
you.
you, love you. That's why we have the champagne because I was like, we're celebrating because I missed you guys.
Yeah, man. We appreciate
Episode
you.
Appreciate
6.
you.
Crazy.
I
Yeah.
feel like that was what's that like? I'm not good at math, man, but that's like what 6, 7 years ago.
Like 8 years ago.
That's a long time, bro.
That was pre-baby.
Yeah, man. A lot has changed for everybody.
How old was I in 2016?
Yeah, how old that had made you? You
Right.
just had a birthday,
25.
right? You just had a birthday?
I turned 21 in 13, so you guys do the math.
Yeah.
And yes, I did just have a birthday. I'm 31.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Birthday.
Happy birthday.
When I seen that, I was like, damn. She's only 31.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Because I did the math. I was like,
He was asking me, he was like, yo, Diamond younger than us? I was like,
I knew
yeah.
she was younger
Yes.
than
I
us.
was like,
But I didn't know
in
how
school,
much
she, like,
younger.
I remember she was with the
Yeah.
younger crowd.
Yeah.
And I was like, she told you to pants up store. And I was like, that's what fucked me up. When she said, I was like, bro,
Pants
I
up.
was like, you're a freshman. Like, I almost want to say, what are you telling me anything?
But what did he do? He listened.
Listen, man.
See, you know, that's the thing about age. Age has no bearings on authority.
That's a
Respect
fact,
me.
man. That's a fact, dog.
And he knew I meant well. He knew what I was saying
Nah,
made
for sure.
sense. If you make sense, you know, like what could you say?
For sure.
So I kind of want to catch up with you.
Yeah.
How you been?
And then just get your
Yo, mom.
perspective
now,
on certain things.
Oh, I am a mom. Shout out to y'all see my hoodie.
cool ass moms.
mom. Shout out to Stormy because this is her brand. You know, I am a mom. My son is 2. Wow. It's crazy. He'll be 3 in April. Can y'all fucking
Major.
believe that?
Aries?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
he
boy.
was supposed to be, but he
Damn,
is a
son.
Taurus, believe it or not.
Damn, man.
And you know what's so crazy?
Everyone
And-
only told me.
And this is how life comes full circle because when I was like in my younger years, when I was like dating before like, you know, me and his dad met, I was like, oh, I don't like no grounded signs. So I didn't like Tauruses or Virgos
go.
at all.
That's wild.
Had a baby with a Virgo.
Damn.
My son is a Taurus. It's nuts. I'm an Aquarius, so I'm very like la la la. And my son be like, mommy now. Mommy, I need this now. And I be like,
Determined for no
wow, this
reason.
is crazy.
You know y'all have a bad rap?
Aquarius is?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Like, nah, your side is terrible. I'm just going to be the first one to say it. Though.
Go ahead. Let me
Aquarius
know.
is
fuck with
what?
you, though,
What's
John.
the
That's February, right? They February.
It's we are now in Aquarius season. It is January 20 to
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
February 19th, I believe.
Okay.
So you February or January?
I'm a January. I'm a
Oh,
January.
yeah. My grandma and granddad. Aquarius.
So I'm
I love
definitely I still got that Capricorn vibe going on with
What
me.
do they say about y'all?
Aquarius?
What's the word on y'all, man?
We heartless?
Nonchalant. So, nah, we just bumped because I'm a Cancer, so we not really.
You know what?
We're not really
I loved the
compatible.
Cancer once. We actually really good friends. You
I
know,
loved the Cancer once.
only one though. It's crazy. Like you know, like it's like I have a lot of female friends, like my homegirls that are Cancers. I have a couple, but with men, I've only had really like one known interaction with one. We're not Aquariuses are not heartless.
Y'all great grandparents, y'all.
So
Great grandparents, bro. Shout out my
So,
grandparents.
so like, how can I put this? As an Aquarius, I care, but like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't know how to make it make sense for you, but it's like, okay, so also you have to like look at your big 3 because everybody has big, like 3 big signs that influence their life and how they do things. I'm an Aquarius, but I'm a Scorpio moon and I'm a Scorpio rising. For me, I really give a fuck. But then it's like, you don't give a fuck that I give a fuck? I don't give a fuck. Like, it's like that. Because I'm and we're dependable. We show up. If you call an Aquarius, they're gonna show up. They don't give a fuck what's going on. Like who want it? Like what's up? If you need something, they'll talk to you. They'll counsel you. They're there. We're very giving. We just don't wear our emotions on our sleeve as much as people would prefer. Yeah. And I think it's because we are thinking about, well, it could be this or it could be that. We're always looking at it from a it could go either way sort of standpoint. So yeah.
Question. This just came to my mind. Were you raised by your grandparents?
No, you know what's so funny? This has been a recurring thing. People have been asking me about the grandparent thing, especially now that I have a kid. And it's so funny because I only met one grandmother, and that was my paternal grandmother. She died when I was 8. We didn't really have a relationship, you know what I mean? And then my mom's mom died before she had even conceived me at all. I didn't have any grandparents. I had a granddad, but my granddad was more, he's a Leo, by the way, it's so funny, but he was more like a distant, I knew where he lived, I knew where to go, but it wasn't like let me call my granddaddy, you know what I mean? I didn't have any grands, for real, so no.
You know why I asked that?
Why you ask?
Because I feel like, and knowing your age now, and then thinking back to like how
old soul.
Yeah, you got like an old, like your grandparents raised you kind of spirit.
Dog, she told me to pull my pants.
Dog, like I remember like the first time you came on, like the first time we had you on the show, and I remember some of the conversations I was having with other people about the episode. Yeah. They was like, bro, how old is she? And they were like, bro, and then I'd be like, oh, she's young. Yeah. And they were like, nah, dog, she either not young or like she's had life, she's lived a life, or like, where's this coming from? She sounds like she's been here before.
Okay. Listen, that's good. So I have been here before. Like I have been here before. Okay. So no. All right. So cool, y'all. So boom. Since this is the episode where you guys are gonna ask me like what's been going on, what's new, etc., etc. I'm a very spiritual person. So that's first. What I will say is that I have been here before. I've been told this on many different occasions, not just from old ladies like, what she talk about? You must have been here before. Not like that, but like actually people who study that realm of like previous lives and, you know, et cetera, right? I have been here before. I've lived 2 lives before this one. So I'm still young. That's why I still have that free spirit, because I've only lived 2 lives before. But I'm old. Only 2. That's the thing. You know how people are really into pointing out like our ancestors and all the rest of that different stuff these days, because people are understanding more that we didn't come from nowhere. You know, there are people who have lived a life, have gone back to the dirt, and they somewhere, and the energy is there, right? I've lived 2 lives before. I'm still young. I'm still in this bitch, but I know some things about some things. That's all.
So you believe in reincarnation?
You know what is very interesting, because my spiritual path has been broadened due to different circumstances and different information. I was raised, like Christian for the most part, but like my mama wasn't no holy roller or nothing. So I wasn't in church every Sunday toting a Bible or nothing. It was just like, yeah, God is your homie. Understand? You know what I mean? Like, cool. You're loved. You're cared for.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But then when I got older, I was just kind of like, wow, like I'm very spiritual, because all of the people that I would run into that were religious, just they kind of rub me wrong. You know what I mean? Because religion or a deen means way of life. If you are saying XYZ is wrong because of XYZ, but you're not living that way of life on a consistent basis, it can be off-putting to people who are on the outside trying to get in or trying to understand. So for me, sometimes it fell flat, but I always knew like God was that nigga in brevity. Okay, cool. So boom. Then I get older. Then I meet a man. He's Muslim, all the rest of that. And I'm like, I'm going to the mosque every Friday. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, this is interesting. You know what I mean? I like fellowship. I like how people stop, 5 times out of the day to pray. I enjoy seeing people be dedicated in their way of life, which is a deen. Okay, cool. And then being outside of that as well and understanding like life's, changes, nuances, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm like, wow, that's really interesting, because whatever your way of life is, we all have a central idea and it's source energy. And so for that, it's pretty simple. Whether you call God, you call Allah, you call whatever, it's the same idea. It's source energy. If you are being good, if you are stopping, at least at some point in the day to acknowledge that energy, then you doing the right thing. Now, if you saying, oh, you don't deserve God to be in your life because X, Y, Z, now you being crazy. Because that's not,
that's
you know
not
what I mean?
about.
So for me, I'm more spiritual because I understand that everybody is tapping in with source energy the way that they're tapping in with source energy. If you're doing your best, if you're being a good person, if you have a moral code or ethical way of doing things, then it makes sense to me. And I do believe in reincarnation because it's just kind of like where. So somebody asked me one day, like, if you break up with somebody, where does the love go?
To the trash can.
Right? And the question, and you know what? That broadened my idea on something else because it's like when you die, where does the spirit go? Does it come back in a different way? I don't know. Nigga said I've been here before. Probably so. Or does it reinvent itself in a different form? I don't know. Do you keep coming back until you learn a lesson? I don't know. But for the most part, I believe that energy never dies.
Yeah, I believe that. I don't know about, I can't say I know about or I have a theory or a perspective on reincarnation because I haven't really
All I know is that I don't know.
That's what I've come to, you know what I'm saying? That's my consensus.
Yeah.
I'm open to any idea. I don't know shit, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Done, but I don't know. It's interesting she said
I don't know.
Because I've told you a bunch of times, even though as a Christian, somebody that was raised as a Christian, just carry on the beliefs, I understand. I don't like how Christians... I understand why people can poke holes in Christianity or look at them because it's all. I don't like how Christians treat other people or act like the holier than thou thing pisses me off.
But you know what I think? I agree with you. And you know what I think? I think it's based in fear. I think it's like, damn, if you're doing that and I'm doing this, who gonna make it there quicker? Is there space for me? Is what I believe actually correct? Or you got to be wrong because if what I'm doing is right, then you got to be wrong. Yeah. I think that's where religion gets tricky for me because it turns into a judgmental thing. Even being in a space with so many people who are Muslim and, so many people who are Christian also, it's like, it's too many. Y'all know the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other? Yeah. It's too much of that. It's like the story is basically the same. We got 3 differences in the whole joint. You know what I mean? Why we getting crazy? It's not that deep. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's based in fear. And I know for a fact that fear is not of God. So when we start talking about religion, I'm just like, whatever floats your boat.
I don't even have that conversation. I don't even have that conversation.
And I follow a lady closely. Her name is Abraham Hicks, and she always has the exact same point. If you're talking about things that give you a bad feeling, is it really good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do what floats your boat. Be a good person. You know what's good and you know what's not so good.
But you said 2 things that resonate with me. The whole thing about it makes it harder to get. I feel like Christians do that a lot. They make it almost harder to get in. And the second thing is, even though I'm not Muslim, I've said this to Ab and a bunch of other people. I respect how devout they are today. That shit is dope to me.
It's very dope.
I walk in this halal spot to go get food at Howard every now and then, and told him even one day dude walked in and was like, what's up, let me get an XYZ. He was like, y'all can grab the mat? He was like, yeah. And then he just grabbed the mat, went to the front of the joint like a little space, and just got to praying. I'm like, yo, that's fire.
And find your spot.
You know what I'm saying? I do respect how devout y'all are to your religion. That's dope to me.
It's more than a union than it's separation. Christians is separation. Baptists, that's separation. So there's it's so much separation. So I respect the unit of the Muslim brothers.
Yeah, I enjoy that. And what's so crazy, just to shake the table a bit, in that same devout way of living, you will find a lot of people forcing it down other people's throat. And this is the thing that I will say for me that was such a challenge for me personally when I was really just trying to understand is that when you are in that environment, there's so many people telling you, you must. God won't like this.
Can't watch BET.
Your prayers may not make it. You might not be loved. You shouldn't do this. Even if you pass out during Ramadan, you need to do it again or you might not make it. It's so overwhelming to carry that on your back. And as a result, so many people that are in that space, in the Islamic space, that want to praise and that want to, really respect their God to the best of their abilities feel like they will never measure up because of other people in Islam, not because the Quran actually says that. You know what I mean? Even when it comes down to the hijab thing. hijabs were an advice. I will advise you to wear this due to the times you're in to keep you safe. It was never like a you must or you ain't gonna make it to heaven. Like, it's not given that. But a lot of people will say that for their own like human desires. I want to police this woman. I'm going to tell her that God does not respect anything but modesty. And in order to be modest, in order to be respected, you have to cover every. God ain't say that. I read that. God ain't say that. You know what I mean? But due to the masses, you'll have to deal with that judgment.
They adopted that. Yeah. They adopted that the mentality where it's like, even though these people that haven't read it, that don't know, they just hear it from other people, so they adopt it.
Even the wife thing.
And then they force it on.
Even a wife thing, Ab. Like, when I was with my son's dad, it would just always be, so he can have multiple. Shut up. Yeah, he got to ask me first. I got to say it's okay. And he got to definitely take care of every single one of us in the same way. It's a trick bag. It's the way, it was God's way of saying, you may have whatever you want, but if you can't take care of it equally, you may not. Yeah. So it's asking you, think about this, because if you can't, then you're not doing the right thing. And there's so many loopholes about that due to humans being human. Oh, we're going to have temporary marriage here. We're going to do this. Technically, I was married when I had sex, even though, I'm not with the girl now. It's a whole thing. So the same way with Christianity, you have your loopholes with Islam as well, and any other religion, you know what I'm saying, or any other deen way of life. But you just got it. That's why I say just be a good person. You know when you're not being a good person. Whatever you do it well. Be devout in that good treatment of others and yourself, and you be all right. I feel like God sees us.
You'll be okay, man.
You know what I mean? That's my thought process on that.
So since that June 2016, you have donned many hats now.
Yeah,
content creator,
YouTuber.
You're a mother.
Mother.
Did you think this?
I'm a bad bitch. Like, no, I'm just kidding.
You can say that. I can't say that.
Did you think in 2016 that in 2023 you still be the only one in the room with a kid? Because that's kind of like, you really, I mean,
wild.
But you know what?
I just knew mine was coming, dog.
You know what's interesting is that in 2016, I don't think I ever thought I would have kids. I don't think that I even looked that far into that. Like, I was just kind of like, I'm outside, right?
It wasn't.
Yep, I was outside.
He was there.
You know what I mean? So I was never really thinking about motherhood in that way. I knew that I would be a content creator because I was already creating content one way or another. If I was talking shit on Instagram, or if I was actually, just outside recording stuff, if I was just on the scene and other people were recording me, like I knew that was my personality. I've always known that was like my calling. Even when I was writing, when I was blogging, I knew that I would be creating some level of content. Yeah. So it made sense for me. It makes sense now. I wish I would have just been more knee deep. And I know I used to write for him. Like I used to be in that realm regardless. It was a natural calling for me. As far as being the only one in a room with a kid, now that's trippy as fuck.
Yeah. That's probably our fault.
Even with my immediate circle of friends.
That's the niggas' fault. They ain't keep me out of there. I'm good.
Listen, you shoot that club up.
Yeah.
That's your club.
Yeah.
You feel me?
You own the club now, though.
Yeah.
I own this motherfucker.
You own the whole you clean the floor.
Look at me.
Look at me. I'm the captain now. Like,
no. Ball, you on everything.
No, you know what's crazy is that I don't think I ever foresaw myself being a mother in the capacity where I was just going, I'm going to be a mother. I was like, it's possible. This motherfucker work. But I'm not like... You know what I mean? I'm not like, and when I say this motherfucker work, I'm talking about like.
That's an old grandma saying right there.
You know what I mean?
Work, y'all.
It worked. You know what I mean? Like, but it's, you know what I mean? Not to say anybody else's is broken, but I'm just making a joke. Yeah. I just never looked at it that way. I liked kids, but I'm an only child. I didn't have a lot of kids in my family. I'm really like Dolo in my brain always. When I found out I was pregnant with my son, because I had miscarried before, so I was like, okay. But then when I found out I was pregnant with my son, I was like, fuck, wow.
You wanted a boy?
You know what? I didn't have a preference. I was like, if God give me a healthy baby, it's one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how I feel about it.
His dad was like, I want a boy. But that's normal for men, and then that's also normal for African men, so that's just that. You know what I mean? For me, I was like, whatever God gives us, it will be good. You know what I mean? Like, it's a blessing either way. Came out a boy, okay? I was like, wow. I remember seeing that little weenie on on the sonogram. I was like, wow, that's a boy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay. I didn't really feel one way or another. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I was just like coming to terms with the fact that I'm somebody's mother and the fact that whatever came out was going to be my responsibility.
Responsible for a human now.
Yeah.
We naturally got to ask, how has it changed you, though? Now,
how has it changed me? Yeah. I'm a lot more patient. I'm a lot more patient. My patience level is different. It's evolved in a way that I know what shit is stupid and I know what shit needs time. You know, like, it's kind of like, I'm not patient for any old thing, but I'm patient for the things I need to be patient for, if that makes any sense. Like, if my son is having a meltdown, I'm like, okay, baby, when you're ready, mommy's here. I understand. Things get hard. Holler at me when you done. I go in the other room and do whatever it is that I'm doing. He come find me when he stop crying. Because I can't intercept anybody's emotional moment. I think kids teach you that, emotional intelligence. Because, you know, a lot of our parents, like, generation, didn't understand emotional intelligence.
Absolutely.
It's like, stop crying, I'm gonna give you something to cry for. Or that ain't happened to you. What you talking about? You know, it's that. And it's like, bro, that did happen to me. You just seen it. You did it.
It was you. What are you talking about?
I used to always get your feelings off your sleeve. What?
Right. And for me, I want to raise a little boy into a man that understands emotional intelligence and is not looking to emotionally manipulate anyone else, especially not another woman. And in order to have that sort of bearing, you have to instill, like, yo, women are cool. You could be safe and understand when you're not safe. You know what I mean? These are important things. So it's changed me in that way.
Have you ever thought, like, as a mother, that you could raise? Because it's so much control you can have over which way your kids
and I'm
go, right?
I can have my controlling moments.
Yeah, like, but it's only so far the leash, like, you can go, right? So like, because I'm not one to, like, let's say the people who, like, out here committing crazy crimes.
Yeah.
I don't always look at the parents and be like, you're a bad parent.
It's you. Now, sometimes the seed be bad.
And that's possible, right? I can't always just be like,
that's that person's life this lifetime.
Sometimes,
you know what I mean?
At a certain point, you make your own choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, have you ever thought in your mind, like, yo, I could do everything possible, and then my son could grow up to be one of them niggas that I hated?
Yeah, 100%. Now, here's the thing that I do feel very excited about for my son. He has a very close relationship with my mom. So he has a grandmother. Her husband, which is my stepdad, he has a great relationship with him. He's old school, you know what I mean? And he gets a good example. And I really enjoy that. I didn't have my grandparents, but I see the difference it makes when you have, you know, a relationship with the grandparents. So that's important. And then they also offer me a lot of support, so I'm able to love my son better. Because if you don't have any support, you're spread too thin, you kind of going to end up a shitty parent at some point or another.
It's inevitable.
Right. You know what I mean? So there's that. But I do understand that I can do whatever I can for my son, and he still be like, man, you know what? I'm going this way. I'm going to unconditionally love that little boy, but I'm going to let him know, hey, bro, this is wild. You know what I mean?
We don't respect that. Yeah?
You know what? Here's the thing about my son. My son is a Taurus Sierra Leonean boy, okay?
Damn, so he's fucking ass.
I'm not.
He's me, bro.
I'm not going back and forth with this bobo about everything. I'm just not. You know what I mean? When he said, no, I'm just like, okay, Musa, these are your options. I will give you two options for you. You pick for yourself. You don't like. You don't have. I don't know what else to tell you, because I will not allow a kid to run me ragged either.
Listen.
See, that's how you have inappropriate relationships with your kids. That's how mothers grow up and be like, I come first, not that girl, because you spent your life spreading yourself thin for a child. This is your child. This is not your man. And then you get mad at every woman who gets to benefit from your spreading thin. I'm not doing that. I'm your mom. I love you so much. We'll do anything for you. Today, this is what mommy can offer you. I won't be resentful to you. It's impossible for you to be resentful to me, because I'm giving you options. And we'll get this thing over with. Some days my son is like, oh, I want this, and I want this, and I want this. And I say, Musa, do you understand that you just asked mommy for 3 things in 3 seconds? Give mommy a moment. That right there is going to be life-changing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because so many parents is like, I don't care what you want. Shut up.
Yeah, that's facts.
And so for my son, I'm like, I want to please you, but not at the detriment of myself.
I never got that shit.
You know what that's going to do for my son? It's going to give him an opportunity to see women can help you, but not at the detriment of themselves. And likewise, I can help others, but I don't have to hurt myself in order to do it.
Also, it's going to teach them how to make decisions.
Yeah, he's going
Decisive.
to be a great decision.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So, like, one thing, and to piggyback on what you said, when I was in my last relationship, she had a son, and the way she parented him, I never saw before, because that wasn't the way I was parenting. Mm-hmm. So it kind of was, like, jarring a little bit, because she gave him options. Mm-hmm. And I never had options, so I was just like, nigga, make the decision for him, and let's move the fuck on. I didn't get it, you know what I mean? But, like, I understand how beneficial that is, and how, like, that helps as you get older to, like, you know, create like a full human being. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
it does. And I even me. You know what though? I'm gonna be real. My mom had something to do with that. I had options as a child. I'm an only child. I had options. My mom
got it all,
my mom was a middle child. You know, she didn't get a lot of the affection that she felt like, you know, she would have desired. Mm-hmm. So she gave a lot of it to me, which is also very nuanced because you could go either way with that. I ain't get it. You don't need it. Or you can say, I didn't get it. I want to give it to you. So I was on the lucky side of that. Yeah. And I had options. I mean, you want this, you want this. I want the third thing that you didn't offer me. I ain't offer you that. Figure out what you want between the two. Some days you're not going to like either option. Both of these joints suck. You know what I mean? But you pick. You know what I mean? Or my mother say, oh, yeah, there's food in the house. I don't want that. Well, I guess you won't eat. You know what I mean? But you know you're going to go in there and eat, and then you figure out ways to remix it. You get resourceful in that way.
Hell yeah.
And you understand that I do have a choice. I could not eat. Right. Not eating is a choice.
That's an option.
Especially when you don't know how to cook.
You feel me? But then I'm also an amazing cook, so that's how that happened. You know what I mean?
That's an option. That's definitely an option you can take.
You can just be noodles.
Listen, as long as I know that I have presented you with options,
I was in the
you can make a decision.
I was the only child, but I was in a no option household.
But you know what? That's just a black descendant thing. You giving them kids options? What's wrong with you? But that comes from us living in a time where we had none.
And I got a Bayesian mother, so it's like tenfold.
Period.
Like,
you Caribbean, it's lit. You know, and you African, it's lit. You know, it's just kind of like one of those situations where black people generationally did not have any options. Yep. I cannot offer my child options we do not have. Mm-hmm. You don't like that we eating this? Then don't eat, because that's all we got. And I'm not about to feel bad because I'm poor and I can't give you something else. It is what it is.
I already feel bad. You're not going to make me feel worse.
Bad. You know what I mean? But that's
a little ridiculous.
I'm in a better position to provide for my son. Yeah. You don't want to eat chicken nuggets? Cool. We have grapes. We have banana. You want that? Yeah. How about, it's to the point where my son says, how about grapes? And I'll say, we don't have grapes. How about pineapples? We got pineapples. Okay, cool. Or some days he'll say,
I'm mad he's like,
I'll get a little bit of both.
But that's what I'm saying. My son has been here before. I know for a fact. The way he talks to me, it's not like he's two. And that's to go back to what you were asking. You call your son bro? Yes. Because when we get to my mother's house, he's my brother. He's not my son. Mother's like, okay, y'all sit down. I'm going to bring y'all food. Sit down. Okay, no. You know, it's not like he's my son when we with my mom. We're around my mom a lot. I'm just like... Bro, stop eating my food. You know what I mean? Mama's like, I'll give you some more. Just don't complain. Just let him have whatever he wants. You know, it's like that.
Grandma. That's an ultimate grandma.
Yeah.
Give that boy anything he wants. My grandma used to always say that.
I had this thought recently, and I was just like, I just feel like, and I don't know if this is like a here thing, like here in this country, or just like, or a generational thing, where it's just like, I feel like people feel like when they're adults, they don't have to acquiesce to other adults. Like in my family, my uncle is always going to have authority to make. Like, if he say, I don't give a fuck if I'm 45, he'd be like, yeah, I need you to go to the store. I have to go to the store. I can't be like, I'm an adult, nigga. You go to the fucking store yourself. Like, that's never
that's me.
gonna happen.
Nigga, you better walk.
We're never gonna be on the same level. You know what I mean? And that kind of keep you in check.
You're elder.
Yeah, that kind of keeps you in check where you don't feel like you way above the program. And I feel like some order is necessary. Like
you need order.
Once you lose that type of order, it's like the gang shit. If we talk about street shit, it's like how gangs they used to have an order. Like you couldn't make certain decisions.
You got to check in
without checking through with certain people. But now it's just like these niggas is lawless. Like they doing whatever, whenever they don't. It's no pecking order.
So I have to be honest, guys, especially since we're talking about kids and et cetera, et cetera. I'm American. I was born here, raised here, love my city. I'm a DC girl for life. Don't regret it at all. But one thing that I can say is that I knew that I would probably procreate with somebody who was in touch with their culture.
Oh, wow.
For a reason. Because I think that it's very meaningful to know your origins. You know what I mean? And that's just my thought process on that. Like, yeah, I'll date American men. If I had a baby with an American man, cool. We would just be on some ancestry DNA shit, where we come from, where we, got going on. And I know I'm an only child, so I wanted somebody with a big family. For me, to piggyback off of what you were saying, order is important. If you don't understand, like, no, I have to call my auntie, or I have to call, uncle, or I have to, be respectful to certain elders, you kind of don't have a certain level of understanding for ranking. And when I say ranking, I'm not saying like you're smaller or you're less important. I'm just saying these people have lived longer and thus may have something to offer you, and you should revere them in a different way. I agree with that. My aunties or like uncles or whatever, if they tell me things, I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, that makes sense. But if it don't make sense, I'm like, that don't make sense.
Right.
That's my choice to make.
Yeah.
But at least my first thing is to listen.
Yeah.
Young people be like, I'm not listening to you. And that's primarily because a lot of the people don't be making sense. And I feel like that's the converse side of that.
And it's the seed thing. It's a whole, like, the mother, like, she don't listen to nobody, so he gonna grow up and not listen to anybody.
Respect is transferable. I would say that, like,
definitely.
My parents respect people. They are empathetic. They are understanding. I've seen that modeled. I will do that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then I feel like kids now also are realizing, y'all don't even respect nobody. Why would I respect y'all? Yeah. Now, this is my next point. For me, with kids, this is interesting as a mom, because now I'm like, these are little people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're children. They don't know much in the grand scheme of life or how things work, possibly. But they are little people. If you take their power away from them all their lives, when they get old enough to assert their power, they're going to say, fuck you, and the boat you came in on. Yep. Literally.
That was me.
Yep.
I don't care. I'm grown now. I don't care. I don't got to listen to y'all. Yeah. Y'all been beating me, talking to me crazy, telling me that I don't know shit, telling me I ain't shit. Y'all don't know shit, and I'm not listening.
Yeah, you built a monster.
You know what I'm saying? That's why emotional intelligence, when you're rearing certain kids, is important, because you got to understand you need a little extra. Mm-hmm. Let me let you know you matter to me. Your opinion matters. When you get older, you like, nah, let me listen to this person because I was heard. Mm-hmm. A lot of previous generations ain't get that shit.
Nah, they ain't understand.
So it's understandable that they like, I'm not listening to you. Yeah. If I want to go out and I want to do XYZ and it don't make no sense, then let me learn on my own, because look at you. Like, I seen somebody on Instagram talk about how, I think the caption was my mother telling me that I need to be married before I have kids, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out who my dad is. God, you know what I mean? And it was like a little funny little song as a meme. How do you listen to a bad example?
Ouch. That hurts.
That's also that.
That hurts.
You know what I'm saying? I can listen to, somebody's grandmother tell me how to stretch food because she lived in a time where they had to stretch food. Man. I know you know. But if somebody telling me, don't do this without doing X, Y, Z, and their life is in shambles, I'm like, how that make
I'm going to go back and
that make sense for me.
Do as I say.
Yeah, do as I say, not as I do.
That's the
that shit.
Because I do think it's some value that you can get from people who it didn't 100%. Work out for.
100%.
And some people be like, that shit ain't work out for you. I ain't doing what you say. It's like, I'm telling you what I did not do. What I should have done. You should listen to that. You know what I mean? And that's where it gets kind of tricky.
Yeah, it gets tricky there for sure. I was actually just talking to my friend about that, and she was saying like how, people can be judgmental when they see you doing something and they don't recommend that you would do something. Everything is a projection in this life. If somebody's like, yeah, you should have did this before you did this, or couldn't be me, etc., etc.
I hate them cookies.
All of it's a projection, because somewhere deep down inside they understand and they can empathize, they get it, but they're like, please be better than me. You know what I mean? So they judging you. It's like a tough love type of knee-jerk reaction, I think, like you should have done better because I'm struggling and I hate that I'm struggling and I don't want you to struggle, so I'm just gonna tell you that you're a dunce for this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not a dunce. I'm confused like you was, my nigga. Like, help, coach me. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? But it's hard for people to listen to what you have to say with your delivery being jacked up.
For sure.
Your life is in shambles. You're talking to me like I ain't shit, and you're telling me to listen. The odds of me actually taking in what you have to say, slim.
That's a real thing. So let me ask you a question, right? So like you said before, you've been creating content, giving your opinion for a long time. Mm-hmm. So like, do you ever like to go back and listen to old stuff and be like, I don't even feel like that anymore, or like I still feel like this, Or like, because I know you've had some life-changing experience. You got married, you had a child, like you've had some experiences. So like, does that affect?
You know what's very
sobering? And
sobering?
I just ask that for people who are opinionated in general.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what's sobering? I wouldn't say that it's content that I created that I no longer agree with, but your tweets. Looking through your tweets on Twitter,
man,
them shits
like,
be funny.
I definitely did.
I still feel the same.
I used to just type my name and search certain things.
I just know I was immature at the time. Like I was just being me, being too over silly. Like, but I when I told you I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck. Like, I told you.
Okay, so boom, I'll have to agree with you.
Yeah,
so
but I could agree to that.
So for me, when I look through the tweets, I'm like, ooh, bitch, you were very spicy. No wonder people were arguing with you on Twitter every day.
I was angry.
Do I disagree with what I was saying? No.
Sure.
Right.
I said it. I said what I said. Okay. Shout out to Nene Leakes. For me, I just kind of feel like at this larger age, at this grandiose age, right? I just kind of feel like, because 30 is just kind of wild in general. Like, niggas can't drink, niggas are sleepy, niggas got kids. It gets wild.
Sleep is so important.
I never used to get tired.
Never.
Yeah, I mean, but for me, I feel like now my delivery is different. I can tell somebody you stupid as shit without telling them they stupid as shit. I can tell somebody you deserve.
That's a real superhero power too. You know, telling somebody
like,
they stupid as shit just that. Ow,
because sometimes people need to hear it. That's the thing. I'm learning the nuance in delivery.
You're learning finesse.
Facts.
And you know what? Finesse is sexy for a variety of reasons.
Learning
Listen, you see what my face is doing right now? Like, finesse is sexy for a variety of reasons.
Man.
But starting with that is just kind of like some people need to hear stuff. In order to be a true communicator, a true orator, you got to know how to reach those people who need to be reached. Yeah, and I feel like on Twitter, I'm like, and that's what it is. And I don't care. Fight me. Now I'm like.
I used to offer niggas up. Like, you going to see me outside here. You're not going to do that. You're not going to be all that.
You're not all that.
I never try to be rah-rah. Be like, yo, niggas be just playing on me today. I'm like, yo, when I see you, yeah,
sometimes you just offer.
I used to get the whispers. I used to get the whispers. I used to get the whispers random. Like, yes, I ain't. Yeah,
y'all ain't about that.
Dre used to save y'all and Boogie, so
y'all ain't about that life. Y'all ain't finna do shit. No, I feel like at this age, I'm just kind of like, I'm a lot more quiet.
Facts.
For me, I don't have to comment on everything. And when I was younger, I was very much so. Everything needs my opinion. Everything needs me to tell y'all. Everything. Now I'm just looking around. I'm like, Yeah. And if somebody asks me, I'll share.
Yeah.
Facts.
But if you don't want to know, I'm not giving you solicited shit because you don't give a fuck, and I got other shit to think about.
I told Ab that at the beginning of the year when he asked what, and I don't know if I'm progressing on it, but I'm trying. But like I got to learn the art of just letting niggas have it, bro. Like everything.
Oh,
no,
that shit is hard.
Everything don't need your
everything
don't need your take on it or your opinion. Like they don't. Cool. You feel that way, you think that way, fine. And I'm just learning to let people like.
Because you got to realize, at this
point. I used to think John used to like to argue. I'm like, nah, John just have a strong opinion. I don't
but I also feel like
I don't fuck with it.
I also feel like I got to try to like, and niggas don't, you're not going to change everybody's mind. Niggas have a right to feel the way they feel. Like, so you just got to learn to let niggas like, bro, you could, fine, cool. Like,
John is emotionally invested.
He's
a Cancer.
If I fuck with you, I tell people that's what
in the conversation.
In the conversation.
You're
not in the
invested.
person. Your emotionally
No, but I also tell
position.
people too, and you know this, and Roy know this for knowing me. I don't. I forgot what rapper said this shit. But I rap like if I argue with you, I fuck with you. If I'm really arguing with you, I care about you to some degree. Because if I don't fuck with you, we not arguing. Like I'm like, bro, you got it. Like I'm not talking anymore.
But you know what? I think motherhood did that for me too.
So motherhood calm, like every motherhood really calm y'all down. At the age of like at your age, it really calm y'all down.
I think for me, it's just kind of like you listen to people, and you kind of hone in on the fact that you're not gonna be able to hear me. I'm not going back and forth with you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Or you kind of understand like. Baby, I'm tired. I haven't had quiet time all motherfucking day. You think I'm about to take this quiet time to fuck with you on a social media?
That quiet time with a mother is
and give it to you.
Like,
super
what?
Different.
Nigga, I'm getting up a whole hour before my kid. I'm tired just to have peace and quiet. Do you think I'm about to argue with you about some shit you can't understand, my nigga? Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm so good. I feel like that has changed me too. Like sometimes you say one thing, somebody they say something else, and you just realize then and there. It's like a light bulb, and you say,
ding.
You're committed to misunderstanding me.
Yeah.
Are you hungry? Let's just go eat.
It's like, this is not going anywhere. And you got to realize, the sooner you realize that, like, this isn't going anywhere.
Because I'm going to be fussing with you. You're going to be fussing with me. We're going to be disgruntled as shit, sweating, mad, trying to get each other to understand some shit that's so we ain't understanding.
It's always a small thing.
Just going to be here, going back and forth. And at the end of the day, it's not like I'm not going to not fuck with you.
Yeah.
It's like a small thing. There's no point. If I care about you enough to argue with you, I must give a fuck about you to a certain extent.
And my mom told me that too. She's a Taurus woman. So she's like, oh, you need to yield your hand. Yield your hand. Everything don't need this or that. And sometimes you can be aggressive because I can't be aggressive. But I think that's also because I'm an only child and I've always had to advocate for myself with other peers. I don't have any brothers or people to call. I'm like, nah, you got me fucked up. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Like for me, but my mom is just kind of like, you don't always got, you ain't got to pick it out every time. Pick your battles. And for me now, I'm just kind of like, okay, you know, if somebody needs to hear something, I will serve myself and say, you know what, maybe it's this or maybe it's that. Could be that. Maybe it is, but maybe it's this. Think about it. You don't have to tell me, but think about how you feel about that. You know, I'm here if you need me. But it looks like you got this figured out.
Sometimes you got to leave people with something to think about, bro. Just let it be.
And sometimes that works better for me. They'll come back and they'll be like, you know what? I was thinking about what you said and that made sense.
That's it.
And sometimes you just got to ignore motherfuckers. That's my favorite power, bro. I swear I just ignore you. Also you can send me some shit. I could just ignore you. Because I know what type. I'm natured by aggression. So I just know I'm an Aries. So, yeah,
are you fire?
Yeah, I'm fire. So it's fire when it's aggression.
I like fire signs though.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
I bring the water, so I'm cool with whatever. I'm cool with whatever.
I noticed you're getting more consistent with your content.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I've been being
and it's real, and it's like it's real authentic. Like,
so you guys want to know something very interesting for me? Is that I was like, damn, you got to get more consistent. My DMs literally blow up every day from women asking me questions. Asking me questions. Should I do this? Should I do that? What do you think about this? And I'm like, why the fuck you asking me? I don't know. My shit is in shambles, right? But then I'm like, you know what? Obviously, they trust me. You know what I mean? I think that's a really big honor for me, for people to come to me and ask me anything. Because the fact that you care, the fact that you trust my judgment means everything in the world to me, because that means you're listening to me or you care about what I have to say. I've been getting more consistent with my content because I've received that word that what I'm doing is helpful. Right. And I got to do something meaningful with my life. I can't just be out here like welling. You know what I mean? Making money.
A lot of niggas out here welling, don't worry. You know what I mean? Niggas out here lying. It's a lot of lies in this world.
I just can't. I got to be realistic. I got to be transparent. And honestly, the transparency doesn't hurt me at all. I don't care. You see me, see me. You know what I mean? It's flesh and bones, just like you. You're going to judge me one way or another. Everything is a projection. None of this shit is personal. It is what it is. That's why my little tagline when I come in on YouTube is always like, I go through the hard shit and I share what I learned. You may use it, you may not, but this channel is dedicated to helping you not have such a hard life. Maybe it could benefit you in some way or another, because everything is kind of like domino. You know, if somebody else having a bad fucking day, they come to your place of work, they cussing you the fuck out. Yeah. Now you're having a bad day. Yep. You know what I mean? It's not that it's truly not what I eat don't make you shit. It's not that, because it is. What you eat, now you got a stomach ache, now you in here stinking up my bathroom, it's still bothering me. You know what I mean? I still got to deal. So I think if you put out good things or helpful things to enhance the people around you, if they so choose to partake, then you can enhance your life too, because energy never dies. But that's another thing.
Real quick, that kind of segues me to something I was going to ask you anyway, right? I want to throw this because I got a little, not a secret, but a little something. And
make the confession.
I'm going to tell you. No, we're not doing that.
Your body, you
John, it's part of your job to get clipped, bro. You gotta be part of it.
The little shit is I sometimes like I consider you like a valuable, you know what I'm saying? And certain people I know fit in that realm, and I like if they do content like Paris, I consider Paris same like a couple other people, and I told you that's why I used to like her period. Like I was a big fan of that joint because I used to when women I consider like upper echelon women talk, like to me it's like a cheat code. So like I like to be in that room because you get your thoughts and you like, all right, because it's like, all right, if y'all think that's dope, then if you align with that, like we got to do something right. So, and you know I consider you a I got cool points just down being around. Like, I remember one pool party was at, and she just walked up to me. She was like, "I was there," and she came like all over the joint, like she hugged. I was like, "How the fuck you know her?" Like just from down, like you know what I'm saying, just down being around.
Which still boggles my brain that people like.
Nah, I was the man after that. Like after
I'm dead.
John was so excited.
After we embraced,
John was super excited.
Relax. After
son,
talk to me, Johnson. Talk to me.
I don't recall this, but I don't recall any of that. But after we,
I have to DM.
After we,
like chill out, bro. I got everything on you. Chill out.
After we embraced though, like I was like, girls started looking my way, like niggas, like yo, who you? Like so. It's but I say that to say this though. So your opinion clearly matters. You know what I mean? So you be on the scene, you be knowing, you have your ear to the streets, you be saying, what in your view, what's the number one thing niggas are doing wrong these days when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, whatever, like that type of life, courting women, whatever. But also give me what's the number one thing you think women are, where they fucking up at these days?
That's a really good question. So let me preface this by saying that I hate the relationship content y'all putting out. It sucks. Not y'all.
I'm about to say us or
not y'all. No. Because I'm commenting. This is good. I'm saying the people who have the pause that's talking about $200 days, who should sit in the front seat, back seat. Like, shut up, bro. Like, whatever work for y'all, let that shit work for y'all. So I'm not coming here as like some relationship guru, because baby, please. You know what I mean? But if I was to say or to comment on what I feel like men are doing wrong, or they're doing that is detrimental to the dating space, or, you know, to cultivating relationships with women, honestly, I just think that society is corrupt. I am very traditional in my values. I'll say that too. People might look at me and I don't know what they thinking, but for me, I'm very traditional. I think marriage and a man being a protector and provider makes sense. I don't think anything else makes sense. I think historically, it makes sense. You had hunters, you had gatherers, and that's how it made sense. It's people at home putting the berries and the fucking greens together. You go get your ass out there and go find a fucking woolly mammoth. I don't know. You bring that shit back. We eat for weeks. We take care of these kids. You help us procreate. Now we have a village. Now we have a family. Now we have a lineage. That makes sense to me. When men are asking for, well, what you gonna do for me? You have to be in your feminine energy to receive. If you are asking for what you get, what about what I get? I was about to say something very explicit. I'm not going to say that.
Should have said it. Should have said it.
It's very explicit.
Go ahead, say it.
You don't have a hole, my nigga. Why are you asking what do you get? Because if I say I got some dick for you, now you upset. But the thing is, here's my thing about polarities, right? And this might shake the motherfucking table. I don't know. Everything operates in some level of polarity. You have masculine, you have feminine. In order for it to work, somebody has to be the receiver, somebody has to be the giver. I'm not saying you cannot pour into each other. You must always have some level of reciprocal energy for anything to work. But what you're getting from me and what I'm getting from you should not be the same.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Where is the polarity? If I'm saying, baby, I really like flowers on Sundays to refresh the house, do a nice Sunday reset, you know, get these kids together, clean this house, make you Sunday dinner. It would be nice if you brought me some flowers. And that nigga say, well, what you gonna do for me?
Oh, no,
Actually,
that's
nothing.
crazy.
Actually, nothing. Actually, don't bring the flowers and don't bring you. You can stay where you at.
That's wild.
You know what I'm saying? And that's such a small example, but think about it on a larger scale. Men are like, they want me to spend $200 on a date. What's she bringing to the table? If you think about, and this is just my perspective, if you think about the table, what is the table?
There ain't no fucking table.
How about this? How about I shake it a little bit differently? The table is your support. It holds your plates. It holds your utensils. Yeah. It provides a space to be yourself. It provides a foundation. Mm-hmm. What do women do? They're supposed to be, baby, that was a great decision. Or, baby, I don't think this decision is your best work. Let's come together. Let's figure something out. Or, you tired? Lay down. Here's a bed. Clean sheets. I'm very traditional. So I understand my views may not work for everyone. But for me, I feel like men are supposed to be protectors and providers, and not just monetarily. You can give a bitch money all day. If you don't give the bitch hugs, she's gonna be mad.
What you mean all day? Like 365? Like you gotta cut. You gotta. So here, I need people to stop saying all day. Like if you looking out for like 3 months, 6 months, that's a lot.
Let's talk about money. Let's talk about money, right?
3 months, she need this and that.
This is a nice segue.
The man who's providing.
So let me say this. It also depends on the type of providing. What you call tricking is very tricky for me, because it's only a trick if there is something that is strictly transactional, right? Yeah. I'm tricking. I bought this for that. That's that. Yeah. There are no guarantees or any residual interest coming from this person.
Materialistic things.
Right. And it's not always material, because you can be providing monetarily for someone and they might need help with an operation. Yeah. They might need help with paying bills. They might need help with supplementing food. It doesn't mean I bought you a Gucci bag, I bought you a Chanel, I bought you boots. It doesn't mean that either. So when I say what I'm saying, it's just kind of like, you can literally be providing money for a woman all day. At some point, she's going to want a hug. Yep. If all you can provide is money, you're not a provider. I mean, you just spending money.
I mean, he's a business
Conversely, okay, so even that's tricky, because for me,
I can't give you a hug. You want this. You want things. You want things. You need this. You need this, and I can't provide you. I gotta go get you more things. You know, you might gotta ask.
But that's why we're talking about balance.
Especially, I'm just saying, especially like if it's not in a real.
I think skilled men are balanced. I think skilled men are balanced. I think they say, this is what I can give you. Again, going back to what I'm teaching my son, but not at the detriment of myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can provide this for you, and I can still be able to give you this while I'm at this point giving you this. If this works for you, then I'm the man for you. If this does not work for you, then I'm not the man for you. And I can go on and find a woman who appreciates what I can bring to her at this point in my life. It's not about who is going on dates, who's getting Chanel bags, who's this and that third. Make it make sense.
I think niggas need to stop doing that.
Doing what?
Stop the free Chanel bags. I think.
What's free?
That shit free.
What's free?
Niggas throwing that shit free.
What's free?
That shit free.
Hold on, what's free?
That shit be free.
Let me tell you something real quick. As a woman that has a story to tell you, without getting into that story, let me just let you know.
I'm just saying.
Nothing that women do is for free, because I'm gonna tell you some good shit for free. This is for free right here, and this is what I tell women whenever I get an opportunity to, especially now that I know this to be true 100%. When you are dealing with a man strictly for money, you are not getting anything for free, because you are paying for something on the back end. You are not paying for it in money, but you are paying for it in body, spirit, or mental work. Nothing is free. If a woman says, "Oh, he bought me this Chanel bag," you gotta know he's drilling her whenever he feels like it.
Drilling her.
Or, and I say drill because it's just completely transactional. You can't say making love, because it's not that if it's that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times it's not. I mean, we would love if it was both, but a lot of time it's not that. You know what I'm saying? Both. So you on his time. When he call, you gotta pick up the phone even if he's sleepy. You gotta look good when he FaceTime you, even if you don't feel like
Sound
it.
Like a pimp.
This is a work. No, a pimp don't give a fuck what you look like. He give a fuck what you look like to the niggas you selling it to. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about a John, but a long-term one. And when we're talking about an exchange, it can always be transactional. No pun intended. It can always be transactional, but they're paying for it. Yeah. Nothing is for free. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you got a rich man who's taking care of you, because I also was just in that role for 4 years. You're paying for it. You're not just sitting home and don't got to do shit. You got to cook something. You got to provide something. You got to make something work. It's never for free. It's never for free. You got a Chanel bag? Congratulations, you got something out of that deal, because there's so many women that's giving men emotional support, mental support, being just doormats completely, sexual, advances, all that for nothing at all. Yep. And I don't promote women doing everything in the world just to be looked at as a good woman. You can be good and still have standards. You can be good and still deserve things in return. What women are doing wrong, to talk to what John asked me.
Let's get to the woman.
I feel like women, this is an interesting, probably point of view on my end, but I feel like women are not vetting people well enough.
Man, I was about to say that. I'm glad you said that.
And I've been guilty of this in life. If it don't make sense on day 5, on day 10, it's still not gonna make sense. He just probably gonna figure out your workaround. So on day 335, you're pissed, but now you're too invested to go. And now you're like, well, no, I'm not letting it. I put in all this work. Now you're tricking yourself into a dark hole.
Emotional bags.
And what?
Emotional bags.
Oh, let me tell you something.
Every birthday, every Christmas.
Let me tell you something. Because guess what? I literally know this for a fact. The girlies that are smart, that they already know this man can't offer me X, Y, Z, but he can give me A and B. Cool. I'm not looking at him for that. Those are the smart girls. They understand what they're doing. Now, you become a little silly when you start saying, I want him to love me and be monogamous to me and trust me and give me an opportunity to pick and say and do and have authority when you met him saying, meet me here and I'm going to give you this. Because we keep, please, Bobby, if you see this and you see me, you like what you see, buy me a Chanel bag.
That's not even my lifestyle.
I deserve it.
I don't even know how that go.
And the thing is with the Chanel bags is it's tears in them bags a lot of the time.
That's what I'm saying.
It's tears.
That's what I'm saying. You can't have this shit from last year. You gotta have it today.
Hold on. I'm gonna guarantee you right now that
Poshmark be bumping. I be saying it.
The thing is,
and
Chanel is actually like my favorite maker of bags. They're very delicate. Very nice.
Longevity.
And on top of that, they accrue interest very well. You keep one, you might be able to get you a down payment for a house.
Talk about Duval said some real shit the other day though.
Now we talking about it. It's like a social because like he says some real shit and Instagram's like, yo, you're right. He said this shit like in real life. Do y'all really like bags like this? Because I only see it on social IG. Like in real life, when I think about girls that I know and the person like. I really don't see it as a big thing. I only see it on luxury IG. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the influencers, the celebrities, like, I only noticed that there. In real life, I've never really noticed it. Maybe I'm tripping. Like,
Chanel's and Birkins are for women what white women are for some black men.
Oh, yeah, I get you. Shame on those black men, too.
I'm that bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's so unattainable. You know, in terms of being in person with somebody when you at a kickback and they like, you see this big bag. No, you're not going to see that because you're amongst friends. Mm-hmm. But if we're talking about see me, I need to be seen. I need you to understand I'm a big deal. A bitch might put on her jumbo Chanel for a event because she wants other men to see men value me. You see this bag? Even if she bought it herself. You know what I'm saying? It's like that whole conversation when people are like, oh, yeah, if her lifestyle don't do it, why would I go and do it? Why I got to be your boyfriend? The last 5 niggas ain't had to be a boyfriend. When she come in with a boyfriend, you like, nah, this bitch is coveted. Niggas love her. I'm going to be honest with you. When I got married, so many niggas was like, see, I knew it. I knew you was a wife. Bitch, go away. But that's what it is. Bags are a thing because they're a sign of status for some people.
And investments. That's what I'm saying.
And they're investments. You know what I mean? Is my life tied to labels? No, not at all. If that shit look good, it look good. You got it from Fashion Nova? Bet. Send me the link. I'm not tripping.
What's the other shit, Shein?
Oh, Shein, baby. Shein. That's a monopoly. But I really don't like to talk about them because it gets crazy because, you know, I heard that their practices are not very just when it comes to the people who are making the clothes. So we're not even going to really talk too much about that.
Is it just anywhere across the world, though? Like, I feel like that's everywhere.
That's how I kind of feel. I also kind of feel that way, too. Yeah. But I also will get shit out of the thrift store. If it makes sense, it makes sense. And
thrifting is up now. Y'all niggas fuck like social media fuck thrifting up.
You know, since we're on the topic of social media, how you feel about like the everyday man versus woman argument everywhere?
What do you mean?
Like it's online all day.
The everyday?
It's all online every day. People got whole
what they call it,
social media.
It really is because everything goes.
Every time I turn on any app, it's like men I hate men for this, or the women like men need to do this, men like women do this. It's like an everyday kind of war kind of thing.
You know what I think? I think that unfortunately people are very frustrated. They're not finding what they're looking for. People are very frustrated that they have to pretend in order to get what they want. I think people are frustrated that they're not getting their expectations met. And ultimately, people are upset with each other. Like, it would have went this way if you would have did this way. Why you can't see it my way? Remember the religion conversation we had earlier? It's kind of like that. I'm mad at you because men aren't supposed to X, Y, Z. And then men like, well, our moms didn't love us, so we don't have to love you, bitches. And then the women are like, well, you're supposed to in order to be worthy. And they're like, see, that's why I don't like you, bitches, because y'all always telling us what we supposed to do, but y'all never telling us we good enough. It's a constant argument.
Yeah, all day.
And you know what I think a lot of it's based in? Childhood trauma.
Yeah.
That's it. That's always that's
go to therapy. That's what I think about the conversation. Go to therapy.
Have you ever heard of the Passport Bros?
No, tell me about
Oh man, so this is like a
I feel like you got stuck on YouTube again, bro.
No, this is a real thing.
Let's
This
go
is a
down
real
the
thing.
rabbit
This is a
hole.
real thing. It's like a group of men who have decided that women in America are not up to.
The niggas in Dominican, they be.
So they their thing is like leave America, go to another country, and go find you'll live a higher quality life. They'll appreciate what you do more. They'll just that kind of thing.
They're going to Dominican.
Go to DR, go to Brazil. Like this is like a thing. It's not like
I understand.
This is a large group of men.
I think I understand what we're talking about here. You want to know my opinion on that?
Yeah, like.
Okay.
What do you think about?
My opinion on that is, it's the No, I'm not gonna say that. It is the concept of submission that they're searching for. I do not want you to call me out on anything. Your culture tells you that the man is right. I'm gonna come over here and be that man for you. In America, them bitches is calling niggas out. I don't fuck with that. and I'm that nigga. Somebody gonna notice me.
Yeah.
Nah, for sure.
And then they go somewhere and they like, you don't got that much money. Your money doesn't mean this, X, Y, Z. Look what I can give you. You got to listen to me. I'm providing you. That's something that I don't like. Don't be a provider under oppressive motives.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Disgusting.
If you're going to provide, it should come from a heart space. I want to see you. I want to grow you. I want you to be well. What you choose to do with that newfound wellness, success, putting you up on game, when I turn you up, whatever you choose to do with that will be what you do with that. I was just telling a man the other day that I used to date, you don't lose anything as a man when you give a woman something. Because women will either grow it or they'll squander it. If they squander it, you still don't lose because you're the source. You didn't get your shit from nobody. You're the provider. If she say, oh, I'll fuck it up, she fucks her shit up. You don't lose. That's why I think for men who are like, oh, I gotta have this and the woman gotta do this and you are fearing that somebody gonna run off with y'all stuff. It's like, and for color girls, when she was like, you gonna run off with my stuff. Are you giving that or are you the man? Yeah. I feel like men are supposed to hold the line. Yeah. If you're going somewhere to find it easier for yourself, I mean, I get it. Niggas get tired. But don't say, I can't find good because the women are bad. Say, no, I haven't found good yet.
I hate that. It's the women that you pick, bro. It's always the women that you put your eye over. For sure.
And then also it depends what her issues are, her deficits are at that time. You can meet an amazing woman, but write her off because her childhood trauma got her doing some weird shit and your childhood trauma don't agree with that weird shit. Go to therapy. I think so many different unions could work if you sit down and you're honest with yourself and with the person who is, certified to assist you with that. But if you like, women ain't this because this and women ain't this because this, it's kind of like, where are you getting with that?
Yeah. On the flip side, there's a group of women called the Divestors. You ever heard of them?
No, please tell me more about this.
Yeah, these women believe that you should.
I ain't see that part.
These are black women. They believe that you should. Black men they've run us in the ground. Let's leave them alone and go find a white guy to level us up.
So this is interesting because honestly, so I'm on dating sites, right? And
I saw your date story too about the sweaty homie.
And I knew him in person. He wasn't even a date. Like he wasn't even an app joint. It's crazy. But
I gotta see that shit.
Crazy. Feel me? Like wow. Anyway,
he wasn't even an app joint.
He wasn't. But you know
him?
Sweaty homie,
I knew
bro.
him. It's crazy.
Sweaty bro.
So boom. Yeah, he showed up like sweating. It's crazy.
Did he come from the gym?
Oh, that's the crazy part. And it shows that he don't be going to the gym. So it's like, what?
Shit.
Anyway.
That nigga was doing coke.
Probably so. You feel me? Like I feel like he probably was like booted up or something.
Because that's what just popped in my mind.
Maybe that.
Lily, when she said it, Lily the first time my mom was like, someone's booted up.
It was coke or perk for me. I asked him, I was like, you off the perk? And he was like, no. And I was like, anyway. So for me, taking this from somebody who has had plastic surgery and they prescribe me Perc-10s, you will go to sleep. You will be high or you will be sleepy. Pick your poison. Options again. Anyway, for women who are saying black men have run us into the ground, let's go find a white man. Here's my thing, y'all. I be looking at the white men on the dating sites and I be like, wow, this is a fine white man. And then I be thinking, when it's time to comb my hair or when it's time to talk some real shit about something, I need somebody who will understand me.
For sure.
For me, I just be like, ugh. Like, I'm not against it. But I don't think that you should sub out a brother just because you think a white man is gonna do it better. I don't agree with that. Just
like still the niggas, they got their own set of problems too. I'm sure.
What? And they're different problems, and they're rooted in different shit. Shit you have no interest. You don't know about. Yeah. Their families got judgments.
No examples.
Their families got judgments. You stepping into a whole different ballpark.
Gonna be wild.
So you got to pick your poison.
Thanksgiving's gonna be crazy. Yeah.
Honestly, I could be in a biracial relationship. I wouldn't mind.
Can you date somebody?
Hold on. Let me be clear. Here's the thing. I'm saying that because
Rosa Parks.
I don't have an issue with seeing love in different facets. But I already told y'all what I preferred a few months back. Yeah. I prefer African men, me personally. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You said that
I prefer, but I'm not gonna say if I feel like I've met somebody who's aligned with me and it makes sense, they respect me, their family can respect me, their family can understand, they can understand. I'm not saying fuck no to love because you white. No.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you say fuck no to love because you make more than a man?
Actually, no. The thing is, what's very funny about this is that Aquariuses are also known to be sugar mamas, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Don't do that, because I'm about to ask my grandma what's up. Like, I'm about to ask, don't do that.
No, because
don't do that, damn. Don't put that out there.
But that's the thing. I think Aquarius women also have a certain level of masculinity, which is why I think you were saying earlier that nod to having lack of feelings or not wearing it on our sleeves. Yeah. For me, I just kind of feel like if my man, so under no circumstances could I date a man who lacks ambition, who lacks vision, who lacks the ability to make things happen. Because that's just not my type of man. I told you I like protectors and providers. You can't be a protector or provider if you lack those things. Now, if I meet him in a space where I'm up, he not up, I'm a visionary. I can see you. I'm going to see you. You don't got the money? Cool. But you smart as shit. I know what you should be doing. Come here, let me show you.
You think that come with another set of problems?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Being a nigga first bad bitch is hard.
Not even a bad bitch.
When I say bad bitch, I'm talking about all encompassing, not beautiful bitch. I'm not saying being a nigga first beautiful girl is hard, or being the first girl that makes a man fall in love is hard. I'm saying being that person where he can look at you and be like, wow, you really got the fucking juice. You really that girl. Never been here before. I love you. I want to love you. And then now it's, no, this bitch is out of order. She's out of pocket. Fuck no. Let me put my foot on her neck. Quiet down a little bit. I can't be a man with you being this loud. It turns into that. So it does come with its own set of issues. But I'm not talking about I meet some Joe Blow off the street and I'm like, let me dust you off and make you great.
First of all,
I wouldn't do that.
You don't need to meet Joe Blows. They on PCP. So
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Don't take a dirty nigga off the street. Let that nigga be dirty.
What I would do is meet a man, know that he's ambitious, know that he knows how to make things happen for himself, and say, you having a down moment because life is full of valleys and peaks. Okay? You in a valley right now? Come. That's cool.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Listen, whenever I hear those, I think of DMX.
I know he's going a little wilder than usual.
I love DMX. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. But outside of that, I mean, that's how I feel about that. I wouldn't mind if you in a valley, cool. I will do that for you, but I would have to vet you very, very much so properly because I don't want your insecurities or your valley to affect you in a way where now you want to harm me or silence me or make me smaller in order to feel like a man, because that's a really big thing. And I always tell women, you should not try to fit in anybody's box. If they don't see you as big and are not okay with you being big, you cannot fuck with them. because there's so many women who end up in corners and don't even end up living their full potential because some man felt more comfortable with them being small. Don't let nobody keep you barefoot and pregnant if that's not what you see for yourself. Live big. You need to be thinking big, bitch.
Gotta be thinking big, bitch. All right, I got 2 questions for you, and we can kind of wrap it up unless y'all have something else. One question is, where's the music?
Okay, that's a really good question because people have been getting on me about that.
Where's the tunes, man?
The tunes. You know what? Can you guys believe that I was literally like, man, I want to do music? Okay, 2 reasons. First, I was like, man, it's really tricky. I'm getting older. Anybody gonna want to listen to this music? I don't know. But then also, I've been feeling very inspired. I actually have some little notes in my phone. You know, I'm feeling like Drake. I don't know. I got some shit to say. But then on the other end, I'm like, it's very hard for women to excel in the music industry because it's so male dominated and nasty. So if I say, oh, I'm gonna go to the studio, you better know somebody in that motherfucker like, yeah, what's up? They trying to assert themselves in a way that is not aligned with professionalism. And it becomes uncomfortable. If I got to go to a studio and there's 10 niggas in there, one of them outwardly trying to fuck me, the other one's kind of like, I mean, shit. You know what I mean? You know, and then other people, you got to see what, you know, because studios are not the most...
Not the most sexy places on earth.
Nah, they kind of seedy at times. So if you thinking about it, it's like, oh, I want to do some music... I need to have some man that's advocating for me. Because even when it comes for the terms of getting your music from people, engineers, or saying, oh, I need to mix down to this or whatever, I've had somebody say, I'm not giving it to you.
Wow.
You got to pay me. Even though the agreement was not that it needed to be paid for, but because that person's mind had changed about something else, now they trying to intimidate me about it. I will fight you, my nigga, but that's not really sensible.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? So I feel like it's kind of hard for women to be in the music industry without male accompaniment, which I hate.
It's true, man.
That's true.
I want to just be able to create, but in order to create, I got to say, all niggas out the studio. I got to find one engineer I feel comfortable with. I got to create randomly in the middle of the fucking day so everybody else is sleeping or doing something else and do it that way, and that sucks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard. So I'm still in the process of trying to find my mojo when it comes to where I will be creating, what I will be doing. I really liked Night Flight when I was going there. I liked that studio a lot. Momo over there is really cool. But in terms of like just finding random studios, people to engineer, people to give you beats, all the rest of it becomes hard.
It's a process for sure, man. And then the last thing I want to, there's again, I was looking at your page, right? You know how the algorithm works. Other shit starts coming up. So I came across this thing called like SMBC, which stands for Single Mother by Choice. Have you ever heard of this?
I haven't.
Well, these are women who they don't want a partner. They don't want a father or part of it. They want to just like I'm just like I said, I'm a single mother
by choice.
By choice, like I don't want. And that's like me because I'm a traditional kind of person too. I'll be like,
what?
What?
Those some scarred women.
I'd be like, what? Really? Like, this is what we doing?
They want the other partner.
But like, I kind of get it because they do have single fathers by choice, but this is less popular.
Man, single fathers out here balling.
That's like I don't know. Like, how you get to single parenthood doesn't really like. I do think it plays a part, but I don't think it's like you're there, regardless how you got there. Whether your partner died, whether you chose a terrible partner, whether it was like an amicable. I think that should matter. Right, especially if you're in a dating space. Like, I wouldn't if I'm dating women who have a child or multiple children. I want to know how you got. That matters to me. I don't know if that matters for everybody. Some niggas just like I don't give a fuck. I don't care. But like I kind of want to know because that kind of helped me understand what I'm walking into a little bit. How do you feel about that idea? Like,
So for me, I'm very traditional, but I do understand women saying, you know what, we really don't need no men. And it sucks, but think about it. Historically, and just going back to like pre-modern times, right?
Pre-modern times was wild.
Yeah.
I know, pre-modern, right?
For
lack of better words.
Black people wasn't there pre-modern.
Cool.
Times.
Yes, we was. We were the first people. We were the first hominids. What are we talking about?
I'm talking about like
hominids. I heard that word.
I'm talking about like ancient, like
long time, right?
The kings and stuff, like the land for time.
What are you talking about? Black people was them people. The first hominid was found in Ethiopia. What are you talking about? We been them boys. What you talking about?
We them boys.
I thought we in Black History Month. Nah, nigga. It's like, nah. Anyway, I said what I said. I do not renege on that, my nigga. But I'm just saying, you know.
Coretta's watching.
Right. Anyway, and Coretta, she had her time with Dr. King. Let's just be real. Mm-hmm. Whatever the case might be, boom. The men would go away for long periods of time in search of better living, in search of food, in search of the next place to go. Because in order to be a decision maker, you may not always be present in the household, right? Women are used to doing things alone, unfortunately. And then when we got into more modern times, the men were more in home. They would work at their factories or their places of work or whatever, come home to these women. A lot of women don't have good experiences with those men being there. For a lot of women, the men were extra kids. Mm-hmm. Imagine raising your kid all day, being a stay-at-home mom. You can't get a bank account because you're a woman. You don't mean shit to society. Mm-hmm. And then you can't earn a paycheck because what bank account is going to go in? Nobody's going to hire you anyway. Be a woman, do a woman's job, right? Your man comes home and he like, give me a beer, give me dinner, give me sex, and I might smack the shit out of you for talking out of turn because I'm taking care of you.
I'm them John Henry niggas.
A lot of women have that experience with men to the point where they were excited when them niggas had to go to war. You gotta go, bet. It's lit. You know what I'm saying? We not getting hit. We can raise these kids.
That's how day party started.
Okay.
Just going to war.
So boom. So then these men come home and they're asking for X, Y, Z. You got to do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. Why the kid crying? Why this? Wipe the baby nose? Da, da, da. A lot of women, unfortunately, have bad experiences with men being extra additional kids with penises who also want to have sex at the end of the day after you've been watching CoComelon all day. They don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care.
Watching CoComelon all day is sickening.
When you have a child, you stay home. That's what I'm saying. Everything is paid for. If that lady gets a Chanel bag at the end of the year because she's been dedicating her life to CoComelon 1, 2, 3, wiping noses and wiping butts, she deserves because her life is on a replay.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And nothing is for free. So when it comes to women saying, you know what, we really don't need a man. I saw something on Instagram today where it was like, I live with my best friend. Her husband is a trucker. He is always gone. We take care of this baby together. It makes sense because sometimes the man is more so in the way than he is a help. Now, if you have a good partner that's like, babe, you look like you had a hard time. Go to bed. I got this. Oh, my God, hold on to them. You get what I'm saying? Or, you know, revere them in a different way. But a lot of women don't have that experience because a lot of men, especially Caribbean and African men for sure, their moms are like, all the girls in the house, clean, cook, do what you're supposed to do. And the man is supposed to do something completely different. He don't have to do that shit. So when he gets older, he like, you supposed to clean and cook and do everything for me because that's what I was taught is my right. He can't go into a new space and say, I'm supposed to help this woman with things because he don't know that to be true. So now the woman is doing all of this stuff and you just there at the end of the day, probably paying some bills and asking for sex. The bitch is tired. Let's just do it with our kids, with our friends. Let's have a house where we just raise these babies and these men don't got to be there.
It's tough, man.
And it's unfortunate, but I get it. I prefer a man in my house with me. I prefer any stepdaddies out there. What's up? You know, I prefer.
Shot the shotgun.
Just kidding. Just not kidding.
My man is watching. You better walk, bro.
You back outside. You back outside.
You back outside.
She back outside, man. Listen,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No.
RIP the DMs.
I'm dead. Nah, and nobody's about to be in my DMs, y'all. Oh, that's real quick. Before we go, I want to say that real quick. Y'all, ever since I've gotten out of that long-term relationship and I'm now a mother, the men respond to me so differently now.
They're more respectful.
Oh my God. They're like, you a wife. I want to get myself together so I can. I'm like, bro, what if I wanted to have a little fun? I'm dead. No, but that's how they are now. Everybody's like, no, you know, I'm going to be ready in a little bit. You know, I just be like.
Your outside days is over with.
No, everybody looks at me like the mama, wife, and it's a blessing, but in the same thing, I'm like, why the blue checks ain't in my DMs no more?
The wiping the counter. That's
I'm
what
still
they
sexy. Fuck wrong with y'all.
The 4.9 on the counter. That's what they see now. They don't see Diamond outside. Like
it's so funny because when I do pop up, they be like,
oh shit,
oh shit.
Like using the time.
But I'm back working in the club space. I cocktail at SS.
Shout out Esther.
Listen, man. Let's not make it another 6-7 years before you decide to pull up.
Have me on. Let's do it. You know, honestly, I have to admit my schedule is just so wild. That's another thing, byproduct of being a mom, and then you know, co-parenting and stuff like that. You never know what your schedule look like. You're always all over the place. You're trying to figure out this. I'm still revisiting myself, trying to figure out, okay, Diamond, in this space, who are you? What do you like? What feels good to you? You know, getting to know yourself, because women, another thing everybody should remember, women are women before they're moms.
Facts.
You know, everything a woman does shouldn't have to be diverted to, but you're a mother. No, I'm a person before I'm somebody else's
That's when you
mom.
That's why I use that when I'm losing an argument. But you're a mother, though. Like, that's
before I was a mother, I was a hot girl. How you think I got to be a mother? You know what I mean? Like, you know, so you're trying to figure out all these different things, and your time is scattered, and then you know.
That dog.
We proud of you though.
Yeah,
we proud of you for it. I'm fucking with you, but we proud of you.
So guys, give them the YouTube real quick. So
my YouTube is Diamond LaShawn. You can find me there. Subscribe to my good vibes.
Yeah.
And my Instagram is THEE Diamond LaShawn. Spell like it sound. LASHAWN is LaShawn. You know how to spell Diamond. And yeah, that's me. That's where you can find me for real.
Well, we appreciate
Thank you for coming out. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Guys, the Most Unknown Podcast. We out, man.